everyone, of course, promising this evening that her death will not be in vain. We're really hoping to come through on that, on the word that we've given her. Well, let's now go across to our special guest this evening, Soli Sarabji, former Attorney General of India, also joining us, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, CMD Biocon. Thanks very much both for being on the program. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, ma'am, first to you. You're seeing all these images there. We've spoken at length after this brutality and the ferocity of this attack that really shocked a nation. You're seeing all these images there of a country that's come together, united, peacefully in her memory, not really making any political points this evening. All those people out there just remembering her, promising that they're not going to forget her sacrifice. Do you believe that this is India now on the cusp of major change?
Absolutely. I really believe that she has catalyzed an awakening. I think we need to listen to our youth. I think the political leaders need to really act on this very, very unfortunate and tragic death of this young girl who's really a casualty of social apathy, of a very, very skewed social and insensitive social mindset. I think we have to use this opportunity to bring about comprehensive legislation against these very, very serious criminal acts. I think we've talked about rape for many, many decades. It's nothing new. But I think we have turned a blind eye to it. Justice hasn't really, looked at these events in a way that they should have to deter it. And I think this is the time when we have to use this to, legislate, to bring in measures that make women safe, where we respect women, that we look at the status of women in our society. There's lots to be done.
Ma'am, you make that important point, of course, of status women. You've also spoken about the need for laws. But once again, we're looking at a bigger issue here, perhaps a more challenging one, that being of mindsets. We've seen, some of our honorable MPs really make insensitive, even sexist remarks recently. Can we really expect any real change, ma'am, when we're tackling these kind of issues at a time like this?
Absolutely. These are issues that has to be drawn into the public, because when we have people holding high public office making sexist and very, very insensitive and ridiculous remarks about women, I think, this is a time for us to make sure that we actually get people to be sensitized about what, women's, status is in this society. How do we improve it? How do we take action against these, ignorant minds, I would say? And how does even the political system, take corrective action against these kind of people who come up with these very insensitive statements? Can we start by saying that people, for instance, we know have a number of rape charges against them? Can we somehow, make them, eliminated from the political process of holding high office?
That, of course, would be a crucial first step. Mr. Sarabji, we spoke not too many days ago when we saw those kind of angry protests there at India Gate. We're looking this evening at a completely different contrast right here in New Delhi. People sitting peacefully, just sitting in her memory, wanting to remember that 23-year-old. Do you think that this is a new, mature India that we're looking at?
Yes. Actually, I think it shows how the passing away of this young brave heart has galvanized the people. And they are not politically motivated. What they want to know immediately is that the culprits will be brought to book, not out of 5 years and 7 years. Start the trial, they've been arrested. Let there be a day-to-day trial, which must be completed between 3 months. It can be done. It's happened in the Guwahati case. And thereafter impose the most stringent punishment under the existing law. If that is done, at least it will be shown that rape offences do not linger in courts. They must receive utmost priority. But that depends upon the seriousness with which the police, the political class and the members of the society consider them. Unfortunately, to my mind, it's the mindset. Namely, for example, even educated people, when there's eve teasing or molestation, they say, what eve teasing is okay, is always been going on. That mindset must change.
Right.
And what I don't understand is, it's the government's obligation. Now they say they'll have home guards, better policing, more effective policing, but it's always a civil society. I'm very disappointed with the response. I'll give you one example. In Bombay, in 1950, a friend of mine was in a bus, and some chap was teasing another woman there. So he told them to stop it. He got aggressive. Kya karega? We pulled the chain of the bus conductor came, with the bus conductor and two of our friends, we put the fellow out of the bus. Now why don't people do this?
Right.
Even in buses where women are being teased or molested, other passengers keep quiet, are they taking a perverted delight subconsciously?
Right.
So this mindset must change. We must take a pledge today to protect, to respect and protect the dignity of women and do everything towards that end.
Right, this collective silence that we've been guilty of, and I'm sure that many of you actually would also agree. You know, very often we're told, like the point that's being made there, that be quiet. I mean, what's the point? Hush it up. At home, you know, we know that there are families at home that say, shh, quiet, like there's no need. Ghar se bahar nahi baat nikalni chahiye. This happens all the time. So we're all sort of complicit and guilty in a way, having let things get to this point. Are there any experiences that any of you would like to share at this point? Okay, anyway, so we'll move on. Let's not, if we can go across to Mantar for a bit again to take a look at those live images that we're getting from there this evening. We're seeing just a whole host of crowds. We're now told that, in fact, there might be a small march that might be allowed from here, just a couple of meters down the road. But in the midst of all of this, Mr. Sarabji, you'd perhaps be interested in listening to this. Unbelievably, there are reports that photographs allegedly of the victim may be circulated. This is prohibited by the Supreme Court and is a breach of confidentiality. Whoever does this can be sued for contempt of court. Mr. Sarabji, if you could just share with us what could happen if this is actually now a possible fear that we are looking at.
I don't think this is a question of contempt of court. No proceedings are pending in court, so no question of contempt. And of course, desperate situations require extraordinary measures. And I'm sure if the photos are circulated of what? After conviction or before conviction? After conviction, of course. Put the photographs at every railway station, airport, everywhere, showing on the national channels. Because these people should be treated as social lepers, pariahs, people who commit such crimes. When the trial is going on, I'm not too sure, but the question doesn't arise, because in this case, all of them have been arrested. What is required? Please start the trial quickly, bring it to an end. Of course, there should be a fair trial, but a day-to-day trial. And more important, have a competent public prosecutor.
Right. Right,
who
that's
can deal with the technical.
Right, we are of course being promised. We are of course being promised going to be speedy.
This is now a murder case, isn't it?
Go ahead, ma'am.
No, I said, you know, Mr. Sorabji can correct me, but now this is a murder case because, you know, the poor girl has died.
Yes, right. Yes, correct.
Right, of course, all of that we need to look at. Stay with us, then, Mr. Sarabji, Kiran, Mazumdar-Shaw. We're also going to be going across to Kolkata in just a bit. More protesters gathered there peacefully in memory of that young girl. We're going to be going to that in just a bit. For the moment, we're slipping into a quick break. Back with lots more.